Junwoo never thought a normal night could become his worst nightmare. He was in his room, live streaming his favorite video game, when his chat suddenly went wild. At first, it looked like normal spam, but then he noticed something strange. Every single message was the same. Run. Get out now. Junwoo leaned back, laughing nervously. Okay, guys. Very funny. But then his phone buzzed loudly. An emergency alert lit up the screen. National disaster warning. Stay inside. Shelter in place immediately. Before he could react, a crash shook the building. People screamed from the street below. His heart pounded as he stepped out onto the balcony. The world outside looked like a nightmare. Cars were flipped over. A fire truck had slammed into a light pole. People were running in every direction, shoving, screaming. And then he saw it. A man bit into another person's neck with animal-like rage. Blood sprayed across the pavement. Junwoo's hand shook. His mind told him it wasn't real, but his eyes said otherwise. Then came the sound that made his blood run cold. Bang, bang, bang. Someone was knocking at his apartment door. Junwoo froze. He crept to the peephole. The hallway looked normal. Too normal. His hand trembled as he touched the handle. The door burst open. His neighbor, Sang-chul, stumbled in, his clothes soaked with blood. Please, bathroom, just a bathroom, Sang-chul begged. Junwoo wanted to shove him back out, but instead he hesitated. Fine, make it quick. As Sang-chul disappeared into the bathroom, Junwoo turned on the TV. The emergency broadcast filled the room. A virus was spreading, the anchor said. Victims were turning into violent, zombie-like creatures. One bite, and you were infected. Junwoo's stomach dropped. He remembered the blood on Sang-chul's shirt. The bathroom door creaked open. Sang-chul stepped out slowly. His eyes were bloodshot. His lips pulled back into a snarl. Junwoo grabbed the nearest knife. Stay back. Sang-chul lunged. Junwoo fought with everything he had. Adrenaline took over. With a desperate shove, he forced Sang-chul out of the apartment and slammed the door shut. From the peephole, he saw Sang-chul collapse in the hall. But before Junwoo could breathe, a massive shadow fell over his neighbor. Something larger, stronger, dragged Sang-chul away. Junwoo's hand shook violently. He pushed the refrigerator against the door. For the first time, he realized he was alone. The hours turned into days. His food dwindled. He rationed instant noodles into tiny handfuls. He cried at night when the hunger grew too strong. The only thing that gave him strength was a single text from his mom. Stay inside. We're safe. Wait for rescue. But deep down, Junwoo knew rescue wasn't coming soon. Desperate, he tied his phone to a drone and sent it outside. The video feed showed streets crawling with the infected. They wandered aimlessly, groaning, jerking, feeding. Not a single survivor in sight. Junwoo's chest tightened. He shut off the drone and sank to the floor, sobbing silently. But then he heard it. Tap, tap, tap. It was coming from the balcony glass. Slowly, he turned his head. A pale hand pressed against a window. A twisted face stared back at him, grinning. And then, in the reflection of the glass, its mouth moved. It whispered his name. Junwoo scrambled back, heart racing. But before he could scream, a light flashed in his room. Red. He ran to the balcony again. And there, across the street, in another building, stood a girl, alive. She waved at him desperately, then mouthed the words, "Survive! Tomorrow." Junwoo's chest filled with something he hadn't felt in days. Hope. But as the city roared with distant screams, Junwoo realized one thing. Hope had a cost. Because when night fell again, the monsters outside didn't wander anymore. They were hunting. Morning light leaked into Junwoo's apartment. His stomach ached with hunger, but his eyes kept drifting across the street. She was real. The girl, at 7 sharp. She appeared again, standing in her own window. She waved, then held up a piece of cardboard with her name scribbled in marker. Kim. Junwoo scrawled his own name on a notebook and pressed it to the glass. He couldn't hear her voice, but just knowing she was her mate, his chest ached with relief. They weren't alone. By noon, Kim was already trying to help. She tied food to a baseball with string and tried to throw it across, but fell short. Junwoo grabbed his drone, flew it out, and caught the line midair. Together, they made a rope between their buildings. For the first time in days, Junwoo ate a proper meal. Tears burned his eyes. But then came the danger. A firefighter, already turned, spotted the rope. His dead eyes followed it upward. Slowly, he began to climb. Junwoo panicked. He shouted across to Kim. She scrambled to cut the rope, but the zombie was fast. Junwoo launched his drone into its face, buying seconds. Kim stumbled back inside, grabbing an axe. By the time the infected reached her window, she swung with all her strength, knocking it down into the street below. For now, they were safe. Days passed. Rain came. They collected water in bowls. They spoke through walkie-talkies Kim had scavenged. It felt almost normal. Almost. But the city was dying around them. One night, Junwoo and Kim both froze as they heard it. The sound of hundreds of footsteps. The zombies were in a frenzy. For no reason, they swarmed into their building. Junwoo dropped to the floor. Kim, across the street, did the same. Then Kim made a mistake. Her elbow knocked over a shelf. The crash echoed like a bomb. The zombies turned. One by one, their heads snapped toward her apartment. Junwoo's heart sank. As the infected charged her door, Junwoo dialed a number he hadn't called in weeks. Kim's next-door neighbor. A phone rang inside the other apartment. The zombies stopped, turned, and smashed into the wrong door. Kim was safe. For now. But things were worse than they realized. Food was gone. Zombies filled the halls. If they stayed, they would starve. So they planned to move. Kim had spotted an empty floor in a nearby building. It was their best chance. She tied the rope. Junwoo whispered, "Let me go first." But before he could, Kim leapt. Zombies surged below, swarming her instantly. She fought like fury, swinging her axe, slashing, screaming. Junwoo, horrified, grabbed a baseball bat and rushed after her. By the time he reached her, she was pinned down. A zombie lunged for her face. Junwoo tackled his side, pulling her into the stairwell. They stumbled, bleeding and breathless, into the new building. Just as the zombies smashed the glass doors, they forced themselves inside an elevator. The 8th floor was dark, quiet, empty, or so they thought, because when they opened the first door, a man was waiting for them. He smiled warmly, offering food and water. "Relax," he said. "You're safe now." But Kim's eyes narrowed. She scanned the walls. The family photos didn't match his face. And just as she opened her mouth to speak, Junwoo collapsed to the floor. His vision went black. Kim's chest tightened as her own body weakened. The water, it was drugged. The man's smile never left his face. And as Kim slipped into unconsciousness, she heard the faintest sound, the growl of something chained in the next room.